council's in the news again. From rates to roads and trees that go. We're watching where you.
This is Steve. I was just reflecting back on some election material from SIG and just seeing how just looking at how they've progressed on those promises. We all know that political parties tell porkies and lies to get elected, but there are some really classics in the SIG election material. Long-serving Greens Mayor Amanda Findlay chose not to seek re-election, citing the personal toll of the role. And in the background, the SIG campaign through the council complaints page and Amanda Findlay, the worst mayor ever, was terribly vitriolic and terribly personal. So her departure left a leadership gap. The Greens mayoral candidate Kay Garton secured only 17.4% of the vote and did not contest a council position, which may have limited the party's overall appeal and visibility. Greens' support for policies like the 45-degree tree removal rule and the 44% rate increase were contentious. Now, that 44% was never put forward, but it was in the report that was commissioned by the council under the Greens mayor. It didn't comment on the disaster that SIG and Team Gash had gotten the council into, including the $17 million rates giveaway back to ratepayers. There was a palpable shift towards independent candidates, even though the Shellhaven Independent Group are not independent. They were marketing themselves as independents, when in fact they're a registered political party in New South Wales and have been for a very long time, with Greg Watson going back 40 years. Okay, so here's Patricia's pamphlet on why she should be mayor and the claims she made. First of all, fix the council finances. Well, all the savings that have been achieved were achieved based on the plan by Robin Stevens and the previous council. In fact, millions were handed over by the previous council to the incoming council as savings, and this was detailed in a minute from Robin Stevens at the first meeting in October. So they've done nothing to fix the council's finances. In fact, they've gone ahead with the 12% rate increase, but at the same time have squandered $2 million on the planning of the library at Sanctuary Point, over $100,000 given away for the pool savings. Councillor Clancy's most recent attempt has been to give away money to look after war memorials, probably to the tune of $200,000. Fix the Shoalhaven roads and potholes. We're now, I think, 9 months into the term. Nothing's been done apart from fixing the asset register of roads. Now, Councillor White has been in office since 2012, so she's done nothing over 12 years, made a big deal about the roads, and is now 9 months in, has got the database sorted out. Fix and sort out garbage waste systems with green options. I'm not so sure what that means. They postponed the waste recycling area. They put in place a finance committee full of people who had supported the election of the mayor. Their latest recommendation is to get a consultant in to look at this, costing more money. Fix the 45-degree rule. Well, now you can just chop down trees. That's one thing they have delivered, but probably not a positive thing. Fix our coastal facilities with amenities and upgrades. Fix bushfire and flood concerns, focusing on safety and supporting the vulnerable. Again, empty words. I know nothing that they've done around that issue. Recognise the value of small business and encourage growth. Yes, they've given money to the Chamber of Commerce to have nosh-ups and do some training. They've also given them money for the Christmas festival, but I'm not so sure what that's actually delivered for small business, apart from a nice night out. Residents' voices first and foremost. Residents will be heard. Well, I'd like to see some evidence of that. And evidence of where it wasn't heard was when they closed down family daycare, despite protests and facts being given by the family daycare people that it was just dropped on them as a surprise. Stop council's out of control future rate increases. Even this year we're going to still be $15 million in the red. 12% won't fix our financial issues, and I understand that Council is currently at odds with the civilian finance committee who want to get rid of 200 staff. No charge for sport or user pays. That was just an absolute furphy. There was no suggestion that would take place. In fact, it came from the previous election where there was no evidence of that as well. So that's just a made-up scare tactic. They've replaced a Green voting block with a SIG voting block. In fact, I've counted over 40 occasions in this term where they've just fallen back to a SIG voting block. So all those claims are largely fallacious.